podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris. So how you doing, man?
It has been a little bit of a busy week. Got the shed finally mostly in order. Got to rearrange a few things and get some boxes out of the way to make it useful. It's been hot as hell, and I'm owed.
It's been a pretty busy week for me too. I've been to 2 doctor's appointments. One to a sleep doctor, another to the dentist.
You went to Dr. Sleep?
I went to Dr. Sleep. I don't know. Is that like a reference?
Knox. Yeah, we have a guest with
us.
Oh,
bad transition to a guest.
Yeah,
it happens.
It happens.
Yes, we have Knox, our friend from South Louisiana.
AKA the actual Rougarou.
This is 100% fact. Dr. Sleep is the sequel to The Shining.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I went to I did a sleep study earlier in the year, and then they're like, you need something because
you were hovering and shit, and like
yeah, you were possessed.
The Hat Man showed up, left me a tip though, like said you didn't see shit, and then you started screaming, and then he just tipped his hat, gave me a $5 and kept going.
Yeah, it's just like the ghost blowjob from
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
No. Apparently, I had like 18 disruptions in my sleep.
That's it. That's some rookie numbers, man. You gotta get them up.
I gotta get them up.
Like the current of all of our friend group, the current goal to beat is Daryl. Daryl was running on. So when you sleep, and when you have sleep apnea, when you sleep, your body recoups the oxygen that it loses throughout the day.
Yeah. Daryl
was recouping 25%.
Oh my God. And also, fuck you, Hewitt.
Daryl was raw dog in the world. And the first night he slept with the CPAP, he woke up and went, holy crap, I'm people.
Yeah, like they said my oxygen went down to like 86%, which is lower, but it's not like as low as they said. That they've seen some people, they said mine is moderate. So I am going to get a CPAP machine. I just need to wait for the insurance, but I also am getting another root canal.
Fun. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was going to be losing this tooth. It's this one right here. You can actually tell because it's bigger than the rest. It's actually a crown. And there's an abscess right here, which I can feel if I go like that.
Yeah.
Squeeze it hard and I'll pop.
I'm not doing that because that could spread the infection.
Just spit it out.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's how this works, right?
No.
You get a little thumbtack, you poke it.
It could also hurt the bone right there if you do that.
You don't need that bone.
I kind of do if I want to save the tooth. But yeah, he was just like, he looked at the x-ray and it's like, yeah, that's an abscess, all right. Anyway, you wanna pop it now? And I'm like, let's hold off.
He had the thumbtack ready.
He had the drill ready. He had his anesthetics ready. He was ready to go. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna wait until Tuesday because this is an old school dentist, which means he medicates, which is he does the initial cleaning and sanitizing, packs it, and waits a week, which means likely going to be in a lot of pain after that. It's not like the newfangled people that it's nearly $1,400 where they just do it in one time.
Or if you wait until they do a community free dental day. The state puts on at the Cajun Dome, and you go and you get it done.
I wish we had something like that here.
It took 7 hours because they were ill-equipped. Because they had two setups for root canals. They only had 2 sets of equipment. So what happened was, say if Hewitt is Dr. A and you are Dr. B. What would happen is they would sit Hewitt's patient, and Hewitt would start. because the tools that you use in a root canal are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
8, all the way to 15. They would wait until he got to until he was up to tool 8,
and then they would
bring the second. Then they would bring the second set of tools and let you start on you. They would let you start on 8 while they took the first 8 from Hewitt and went sanitize them. So they were constant. So it got to a point where you were using the first set of tools, he was using the second set of tools. They would go sanitize a complete set and then split the set up and give you the other set that you needed.
And I imagine they were busy as shit just because.
Absolutely.
Fun fact from teacher leadership that I went to back in June. So we got 64 parishes, something like that.
Something like that.
Hold on. I think I might have it listed in one of my sources for what will be today's. No, I don't. Because we do have a website that lists the number of parishes we have. There are, especially in our more rural parishes like West Louisiana and North Louisiana.
Yeah.
There is one major medical center, or in a couple cases, there are no major medical centers with more than 12 beds in the entire parish. Like East and West Carroll do not have a combined of 30 beds in their parish clinic.
That sounds like also like Union too.
Yeah, and they have to get flown to Monroe, Alexandria, Shreveport, or in some cases Jackson or Little Rock. I found out there are 30 parishes, so about half.
Yeah, because it is 64
that do not have a dentist.
I can believe that. Yeah,
like I know, like we live in a fairly urbanized parish with. Well, okay, we're still in a very rural section of the state, but like our parish is like pretty much 5 cities that all bunch up together at the I-20 corridor.
Yeah.
So hearing that there's not a dentist, like I was like, hold on, let me think about Morehouse. No, the Dr. Capel's office up there closed. Morehouse Parish might not have a dentist. I started thinking about.
I think, actually, no. I think some of the practitioners in Morehouse Parish shut down recently.
But it caught me off guard in the one of the in-services I wanted to stay the entire time at was special needs and health issues affecting the state. However, both of those sessions, the health and the one about autism, somebody kept spraying extremely fruity perfume and started to set off migraines. And I'm like, I got to drive home.
Lord.
So I didn't get to stay for them, but I didn't realize how little medical care are in some of our parishes now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not just speaking from experience. It's not just that. It's dental is, first of all, for the record, my teeth are in my mouth, which are in my head, which is a part of my body. It should be covered by standard insurance.
Yeah.
Full stop.
And not just that, it's the start of your digestive tract.
Hearing,
technically,
vision, and dental should all be covered under a standard insurance policy.
Correct. But it's not. It is also, the dental industry is also a racket.
It is.
Oh no, I work in the industry, quote unquote. I'm a dental tech, and it's like the amount of hoops you have to go through. Like, okay, so the reason why I'm going to the doctor I am now is because my insurance will cover 30% of a root canal, but only if I wait a year from the time I set up my insurance.
Yeah.
So I'm only like halfway through. I can get basic stuff done, but for an abscess tooth, it's like you kind of need to get that done whenever you can.
It's kind of emergent. Yeah.
You got to take care of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. And we do love our friend Goosehead Jed. The insurance itself is a racket. It's a gambler's game.
Absolutely. Now, don't get me wrong. I've worked in insurance previously. I was good at my job, as long as you were my client, and you weren't a complete idiot, because a lot of insurance adjusters' job is they see their job as, I'm here to save the company money, and I very much approached that job in how do I make sure I don't have to talk to this person anymore? They're not going to call my cell phone anymore. Oh yeah, I technically work for Warren Buffett. I'm just going to give them some of his money. So I was throwing checks out left and right. As long as it made sense to me, I wrote it off. But for example, in dental, for going back to the dental, I had, and if you are approached by your dentist and they tell you that you should have a deep cleaning, tell them to fuck off, because in the industry, if you have ever had a deep cleaning before, they will no longer give you a basic cleaning. You have to have a deep cleaning, which essentially means instead of them scraping, they use the power washer.
Yeah, or they use like the vibrating wand,
or the vibrating wand, and they get at or just below the gum line. If you have had a deep cleaning previously, they will not give you a basic cleaning. You have to have a deep cleaning from that point forward, which is legitimately 2 to 3 times as expensive as a basic cleaning. Also, not all dental insurances will cover a deep cleaning for you yearly. So you go in. They will cover the checkup, they will cover the examination, and they will cover the X-ray. They will not cover they will not cover the cleaning portion.
Yeah, my dental insurance, from year to year, has changed from like, we're gonna just cover everything up to fillings. Okay, we might cover a root canal if it's emergent, if becomes a big problem. To, well, if you wait a bit, we might cover a little bit of what you need. And
hey, have you been taking money from me for like 2+ years now, like $30-$40 a check?
Yeah.
Then I can do this shit. Fuck you. This is my problem. Is like with any insurance, it's like I have paid you, like between me and my employer, you have made several $1,000s by the end of this year.
Yeah.
And you being pissy that I had to come in and get a $200 emergency room visit for my child. And then we had $100 worth of miscellaneous. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck you. You can pay that. I've paid you so much more than this at this point, and legitimately, I had to do this. So you coming through and doing this is super shitty.
And congratulations, you have a job that offers insurance. With the new job that I have, they don't. The company's too small. It's not fiscally feasible. So we went out and we had to get our standalone health insurance. If I were not a cardiac patient, it would legitimately be cheaper if we paid out of pocket.
So, like, literally, being a cardiac patient
is currently the only reason that we are keeping the insurance and paying more more.
See, this is the weird thing that used to happen when we took Vince to Mississippi for medical stuff. There's one time they told me it's going to be $3,000, and I was like, oh fuck. And they go, but if you have $500 right now, that covers everything. I go, what do you mean? Well, if you pay us $500 up front, that covers everything. But if we have to go through insurance and everything, it's $3,000. I slapped $500 down so quick. Like, I shouldn't say slapped down. I whipped out my debit card after transferring money. Like, now, do it now. 500, we're solid.
And there's a lot of smaller clinics and doctors that actually give a shit about their patients. That are pulling the small town cop speed trap, where you got a ticket. This is a $500. This is a $500 ticket because you were doing 65 and a 35 because the signs were 6 feet apart. But if you pay $50 right now, if you pay $50 cash right now, then it goes away.
It's kind of what my dentist is, dentist I'm going to, because he's able to keep costs low because he's like completely old school. He uses older equipment. He doesn't have any extra expenses. So
now with that, what's unfortunate, and my parents are both upset about this, but they voted for it. The small clinics that they go to near Cleveland, Mississippi, like they go over to Rural. Like the Cleveland Medical Center will be fine. It's kind of garbage. I mean, it's a 100-bed hospital, which is good for where it is. They need it there, but it's the problem every hospital has. It's underfunded, and it can only treat certain. Like if you have a broken bone, they're taking you to Jackson.
Yeah.
Like if it's
other
stuff that you don't have, that's better for you not to travel to take care of. But they go to like Ruval, and a couple other places have this little clinic. You go in, you hand them $50, and you get your treatment. Like insurance, no insurance, $50 copay.
Oh, is it? Are these like places that are like slide and scale type places? Or are there places that are subsidized?
Rouville was subsidized, but there's a good chance Rouville will be closed with all the cuts that are.
Yeah.
So my parents are kind of pissed about that.
330 hospitals.
So there's a good chance. And like, if you think that we got it bad here in Louisiana, sometimes you hit the delta of Mississippi, and that's when you get to see what absolute poverty looks like. It's like hitting, minus the mountains, it's like going to Appalachia. Now, to do a terrible segue, guys, we're talking rural.
We're talking rural.
And we're talking a racket. You know what else was a racket? Slavery.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
So, Chris, I know you said you don't want it in the middle of anything, but we forgot to do it at the start of this. Hey guys, this is Hewitt here. This episode is going to address some of the possibly uncomfortable history and stuff of Louisiana and the South. So if you want to skip it because it's going to mention slavery, there will be a little bit of mention of violence. We completely understand. But hey, if you want to stick around and learn more, we're here.
God damn it, Hewitt.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
I've been trying to tell him not to record the warning in the middle of the episode because he'll get to the subject and be like, anyway, we need to do this now. It's like,
well, hey, here's the deal. With the length that we've already gone and that we haven't even touched what I got to talk about, it's only in the first third, so I didn't wait till halfway.
Okay, well, fine. Yeah.
So, guys, have you heard of Magnolia Plantation?
Magnolia. Which one is that one?
It is located on 5549 Louisiana Highway 119 in Dairy/Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana.
Okay. No.
Okay. It's been on a couple things in TV before. It is, I will go ahead and say this, part of it is still owned by the family.
The original family?
Yeah. So, let's get to a little history of this place before I talk about any spookiness. So, in 1753, Jean-Baptiste Lecomte II got a land grant in 1750 on the Cane River.
Oh, that's like right there. That's dotted like right on the sole of the boot.
No, that is 100% wrong. That's not Natchitoches.
It says Magnolia Plantation.
Guess what? There's a bunch of Magnolia
Plantation. It's the South, Chris. There is, and Magnolia is Louisiana state flower.
There's only one sunflower plantation. There's only one cotton port. There's only one longwood.
I can put Natchitoches.
Yeah,
Natchitoches.
I love whenever my AI voice on my phone tries to pronounce certain things, like Choptulis.
Oh, that is right. That is literally right off of 49.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense now.
So, in 1753, Jean-Baptiste Lecomte II got a land grant in 1750 and on the Cane River and started to actually build 3 years later. So he got the land grant there because remember, the thing about Natchitoches is the oldest city in the state. It's not New Orleans, it's not Baton Rouge, it's Natchitoches. And the whole reason that Natchitoches was founded is because they decided the Spanish are over in Texas and we claim this as ours and they claim it as theirs. Until somebody has a dude there, it's
just dirt.
Yeah, so we're going to start Natchitoches, and then the Spanish went, well, we're going to start Natchitoches.
Where's Natchitoches?
Texas.
Texas? I thought there was one in Mississippi.
There might be a Natchitoches, Mississippi.
It feels...
The problem is there's Natchitoches, Louisiana, and Natchitoches, Texas, and they're not spelled the same, but they sound similar.
Natchitoches just sounds wrong. Feels like Bizarro World Natchitoches.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
Okay. We are here for your 6-month work review, and we're gonna have to let you go.
You're off the podcast.
No, it started as a tobacco plantation until the invention of the cotton gin and the cotton mill.
I thought you were going to say until the invention of slaves. I was like,
wow, it really was the first.
They're like, how do we pick all this tobacco?
I know. Oppression.
So his son Ambrose Lecomte II and his wife Julia Bard established the plantation in 1835 as a cotton plantation. So initially it was just a massive tobacco field because, as we've established in other episodes, the landowning class of the South didn't own usually just one plantation.
Right.
They usually owned 3 or 4, and they would have an in-town house. They'd have one country house that they would go to regularly, and some of these quote-unquote plantations would just be fields with an overseer house that occasionally the boss would come by to see how his money's doing.
The concept of the antebellum plantation home was for the families that lived on the main. There was the main plantation that they owned, and that was their house. That was their non-city house.
And then a lot of the other property they owned, and they might own it all over the state, was just working fields.
And because of that, there's a good possibility that we may never know exactly where all of them are now.
Exactly,
because the only ones that have really survived were the big house plantations.
Mm-hmm. Other ones, I'm assuming it's just nature or.
They've been developed,
and also, like I said, some of them didn't have a big house. There was an overseer cottage,
mm-hmm.
because literally the overseer functioned as, like, for all intents and purposes, the overseer might be viewed by a lot of people in that area as the owner.
So he's kind of like a hand of the king situation.
Yeah, he was very much
the manager.
He was the manager,
yeah.
And he lived there, and they're like the richest 1% of the Southern aristocracy before the Civil War owned 90% of the land.
Yeah, a lot of that land, a lot of that farmland, that the plantation, that a lot of these secondary and tertiary farms were, they're still farmland. Like, they're still growing cotton. They're still growing sugar cane.
McRaven House, those folks had plantations in Louisiana, but they had their in-town house in Vicksburg, and they had a house in New Orleans. I mean, there's several people that owned houses in Natchez. Like, all those plantation houses in Natchez, they own land in Louisiana, in Vidalia, in Faraday. That was all plantation. And did the guy who lived in Natchez, the good city, the nice city up on the hill, ever really go out there? Only if there was ever a question about where is my money.
So he would just mob boss it there every now and then. Yeah.
Now, let's see. They began to large-scale cotton plant, but they did not live on the proper initially. The first house was built in 1840. Now, his daughters Laura and Ursula married Henry and Matthew Herzog, and they took over the plantation. This is where we get the Lecomte Herzog family. They still own part of the property that is Magnolia Plantation and Dairy. So if you ever like Ghost Brothers, I'll eventually get to that. Ghost Brothers did there. They didn't go in the main house because that is still private family property. There's other parts of it that are open.
So they essentially have it sectioned off for like the
I'm going to get to why. But, so we're talking about this family has been here since the 1750s. They've had a house there since the 1840s, and they are still there.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, they've also gotten into land development. Like, it's...
Of course. I mean, that's kind of like the natural transition state is going into, like, land development and doing all that.
Now, in 1852, Ambrose's daughter, Alta, and son-in-law, Matthew Herzog, took over the daily operation of the farm, and he gifted them 40% share in the property. So they took over daily operations, lived there, owned 40%. So whatever profit, they got 40% from this property, and then some of the other properties that they eventually got later, they had 100%. Now, the estimated value in 1845 for the property was $285,877. So
that's
let's round it up, $286,000 in 1845 monies.
So we've done this before. It's like a couple of million.
Let's be fair, you could not buy the property today for the amount, even if you factored in inflation. Like if we said, like, cause I think it would be like around 3 million. This property would sell for close to $100 million today. The amount of property that they possessed at the time. Now, in 1860, Ambrose II owned over 6,000 acres of property and had 275 slaves in the area around the Cane River. This means he had one of the larger plantations in the state of Louisiana. Because we mentioned before when we talked about Nottoway that guy had over 200 slaves, and he was one of the biggest buyers and sellers in the state. I mean, when he ups and takes 200 slaves to property that he had in Texas, so that they couldn't be confiscated by the Union, and then left his wife to run Nottoway. You know, brave boy there, right?
About right.
Here on Backwoods Obscura, we do not shy away from basically saying that every slave owner was a piece of shit.
We call it like we see it.
I mean, they could have done nice things. They could have been churchgoers, but if you were a massive plantation owner that had hundreds of slaves under your possession,
I mean,
piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to It's still like a lot of people want to do the whole. It was a different time, but
yep, it was a different time, and if you use the excuse it was a different time and that's just how they did it, then John Brown would have shot you.
He's having little derail here. John Brown is having like one of the most glorious rebirths for American history right now, because like I got taught the dude was an utter sociopath.
Because
he was
a sociopath. He was a psychopath, but damn it, did he believe in his convictions?
He had convictions. He didn't have temperance, but
no, he was not he wasn't a drinking man.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he was teetotaler 100%.
Like they made jokes that he might have been a Quaker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
which makes it funnier.
Like him and Sherman have been getting a lot of research, especially with like memes on the internet.
Crank that bitch up to come to Sherman. Anyway,
there was actually okay.
Go ahead.
Just going because there was people on the Lee Joyner Bridge like a couple of months ago. I talked about this where they were flying. It was like Confederate History Month, and I was very tempted to put on the "Going Down to Dixie" song as I passed them.
The problem is they would have loved that. I mean, like,
yeah, because they don't know what it means.
Yeah, I know. Like,
that's
Southerners took Dixie much like we took Yankee Doodle.
Yeah.
Americans.
That's the problem with those second place guys.
They just kind of
like
they are Confederate apologists are literally the third place meme of the third place guy who is celebrating more than first and second place. They are literally that. Only there weren't three places, because in this situation, second place is the first loser.
So let's put a pin in the actual thing we're talking about, because this is something that we've actually brought up multiple times on the podcast with me and Chris. All three of us sitting at this table are Southerners. Like, there is no other way to say the three of us are Southern coded, because if you were to see the three of us in the wild, I'm not going to lie, I've had a kid say, Mr. Hall, if I didn't know you, I'd ask where you were on January 6th. And I go, that's fair. I am of a certain body type, build, and facial hair amount.
Yeah.
That
all you're missing is like the headband that's an American flag or something.
Well, or the Facebook profile picture with the sunglasses in his truck.
Yeah.
My ex-wife told me the reason she left me is I love freedom too much.
That and
Libertarian Navi.
I'd rather be a lion for a day than a sheep for a lifetime, guys. Yeah.
Oh God! But the thing is like, I mean, you're more Southern than Chris and I, because you're straight up Cajun.
100%. Well, technically 50%, because technically, if you want to get technical, the actual surname did not come. Well, technically, we're not Cajun. The surname side of him is technically not Cajun. They are pure French.
Oh, so it's not just French Acadian. It's like
we did not. The Fob family did not come through the exile. They came directly from France to Youngsville, Louisiana, in the early 18s. I want to say.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that then.
It was approximately the same time. So yes, we have been here the entire time. But if you want to get technically, we are not Cajun.
Okay,
but yes, we are Cajun.
You just fit like a puzzle piece.
Okay. Let's put it this way.
I just thought it was interesting. So screw both of you.
No, it's super interesting.
No,
I'm just saying, it's like you actually know a little bit of Cajun French.
I know enough to get in a fight.
The thing is that me, like a lot of people, like, because my in-laws are all from northern Indiana and like Michigan, Chicago, Ohio, and then like a couple that moved from there to Myrtle Beach, and like, we're in Myrtle Beach. You are not Southern.
Mayonnaise is spicy. People.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, no, because the Polish side of the family knows how to cook.
Well, they know how to cook,
but
their things.
But
there
it's
is a
still good.
contention of your family that might go to Skyline Chili, though.
There is a large amount that do, but what I'm bringing up is like anytime I start meeting more extended versions of Emily's family that I have not met before, even though we've been married 15 years, all of a sudden they start asking me about like fan boats and alligators. I'm like, look, I come from South Arkansas / West Mississippi or far East Texas. Like, I am your general redneck section of America rule.
And that's it. Technically, you are until you get to about Natchitoches, about where this plantation is. That is redneck country.
Yeah.
I'm also going to argue that Alexandria falls into redneck country.
There is one thing I will say about North Louisiana. It's one thing I like to call it is like the LaCroix of Louisiana, because there is like that.
They have the flavor.
They have a little bit of the like you sprinkle a little bit of Tony's.
Well, here's the thing: is am I Louisianian? Yes. Am I what you think a Louisianian is?
No, definitely
no,
not.
Because I'm just your regular old everyday kind of redneck dude.
When you ask someone what a Louisianian should be, they will either point to Lil Wayne or me.
Well, I mean, it's like someone goes, "Well, are you Creole?" And I was like, "No, I'm not Creole." Like, well, what's the difference between Creole and Cajun?
A lot.
Tomatoes. I make that as a joke.
A lot.
And when they do that, and it's like, what do you mean? It's like, okay, Cajun are people of French descent that came from Acadia in Canada. Creole is a term for colony-born Spaniards.
Correct.
So Creole is more Spanish. However, there are a lot of French influences because of blending of cultures.
Correct.
It's much like Creole comes in every color.
Correct.
But
isn't there like some overlap in terms of like people too?
Oh yeah, when you get out of New Orleans and that general area, the mouth of the Mississippi. Excuse me.
I timed it.
You did. When you get past that point and into closer into Thibodeau, Homa, and then you get about an hour northwest into more of New Iberia and Lafayette.
Yeah.
You get more of a blurring and a blending of the cultures, which comes into what is now technically more of the traditional Cajun culture, and surprisingly, the further away from that nexus of Creole, of traditional Creole in New Orleans, the further away from that you get, the more the Cajun takes over, the more the French influence takes over, because that's who was out. Because the Creoles were in the city, the Cajuns were in the boonies.
Now, to bring it back kind of to the point I was going to make with this is, like I said, Chris, okay, let me say this, guys. If we were all given a $100 Bass Pro gift shop card, like a gift card to Bass Pro Shop, would any of us be mad about that?
I'll take it.
I mean, I'm going to buy shorts.
I need new fishing gear.
Like, I am wearing Bass Pro shorts right now that are comfy as fuck. And I would buy...
I mean, fishing gear is meant to be comfortable.
I mean, this is just fat boy wear. Bass Pro knows who their target market is.
Correct.
But I mean, none of us would be mad about that.
No.
If we got a Cabela gift card, none of us would be mad about that, I don't think.
Correct, for the same reason.
All of us, if we were gifted a John boat, would take it, no questions asked.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, come on. What can you do with that?
Everything.
Exactly.
Everything. Like, okay, before I make my point, I was watching AO Fishing on YouTube. Somebody bolted 2 full-size John boats together and had one engine between the two. Like, they were next to each other.
Mm-hmm. They basically made a John boat catamaran.
Yeah. And Emily was laughing at me because I'm looking at like, I didn't know that I wanted something until I saw this. It's like, she goes, "You don't like fishing? No. You don't like being on the water? No. Why do you want that?" That is 2 John boats bolted together.
Pure satisfaction of what it is. Whoever had made it gave them the ice chest, the Yeti chest with it when they bought it. He had cut out a portion of one of the John boats, and there was a Yeti chest on one side and an igloo on the other. The igloo was the live well. Mm-hmm.
The Yeti was the beer cooler. And I'm like...
That makes sense.
I'm like... She goes, "What would you do?" "I would go out in the middle of the lake with the Yeti full of beer. And then I would come back at dark, or just before dark.
With the igloo full of cans.
with the igloo full of cans." She goes, "You would literally sit out on the water and drink beer all day." And I was like, "Yes, and watch TikTok."
Yeah, drinking beer while bobbing up and down is legitimately the most peaceful thing you can possibly do.
Now, to get back to the point I was trying to make is that all of us are extremely Southern coded. We all look like pretty much like the stereotype from the region that we're in. Minus t-shirts we wear. I mean, we're not out here, not in a big dog t-shirt like it's 1992.
Yeah.
But the thing is that all 3 of us at this table, when someone starts talking about the Civil War, will immediately call bullshit on Moonlights and Magnolia.
Correct.
Will immediately call bullshit on any apologists or the Lost Cause or any of this stuff, because the Lost Cause started 20 years after the war was over because nobody wanted Pawpaw or Daddy to be a bad guy, even though he committed treason. Yeah, he got paroled or he got pardoned.
Yeah.
But just to make sure we're clear with this, anybody that's listening, if you float your boat towards the end of Southern history that looks like Tara from Gone with the Wind, check some other books. Like, it doesn't even take a long Google search to find out it's bullshit. I'm sorry if that's what you got taught and that's what you love. But it's wrong. Anyway, back to the slave house that made cotton. I thought Chris was going to have a comment to that. He's just staring at me uncomfortably.
I mean, I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, so, so did that. To give you an idea, 6,000 acres is most of Natchitoches Parish.
My house sits on 1.
Yeah, so that's
So,
just
like, here's the thing: is I keep forgetting how small an acre is now.
Mhm.
This is a time period where an acre was still a mile by a mile.
Yeah.
So that's a 6,000 square mile. Maybe not quite that much, because I think 6,000 square miles is definitely more than Natchitoches Parish.
I'll tell you in a second.
He's gonna Google it, but it was the largest cotton producer in the parish, and it was one of the largest cotton producers in the northern end of the state.
okay. So it was popping off,
Buku cotton.
just a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the original manor was a 2-story brick construction with a oak alley running up to it, because God forbid you don't have a goddamn oak alley on your plantation. It was the shiplap of the aristocracy back then.
I mean, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, live oaks are pretty, but it also pisses me off that, you know what I mean. It's like, how long do live oaks live? Like hundreds of years.
Yeah, they're just sitting around.
Like, if one of the other plantations I got on our list is Homa House, a third of their oak alley is now under the Mississippi River, and a half of what remains is over the levee. So you can imagine how long that oak alley was, and think about all those oak trees being planted and being maintained. There's a reason why they use it for movies.
Oh yeah, I mean, and they also just kind of look foreboding. Like once they get big enough, and then they have the Spanish moss.
Moss, it allows you to have that southern melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find out the math?
I'm working on it.
Okay. Now, the slave quarters were considered some of the finest in the South and very modern.
Oh, okay.
Because they were 2 stories and had a brick fireplace.
Oh,
So not 2 stories, they were 2 rooms. The slave quarters were 2 rooms.
oh,
With
you
a brick
just made it
fireplace.
sound a lot worse.
Yeah, I made for a second. I misspoke, and it sounded like
Oh, they have a little bit of room. It's like no.
no, it was 2 rooms and a brick fireplace in between them, which was modern.
We have a modern slave quarters here.
They're not in the worker shed.
There's Wi-Fi.
They have twice as much room as they usually would.
Considering there were still 4 families, quote unquote, in the 2 rooms. Yeah. In 1864, the original plantation home was burned to the ground during the Red River Campaign by Union troops, which I need to cover the Red River Campaign because it gets so stupid.
It is half of Natchitoches. It took up half of Natchitoches
So
Parish.
6,000 square miles would be half of Natchitoches Parish.
Half of Natchitoches Parish. A little less than. It encompasses a total area of 1,298 square miles.
That's still a lot of land.
It is
Hold on, 1,200 or 12,000.
1,298.
I said if it was they had 6,000 acres, so if that was 6,000 square miles, they would have had more land than that. So they had reduced the size. So the reduction of the size of an acre happened before this. Then apparently had to. That might be another bit, but the Red River Campaign is nuts. Like the reason that Rapides Parish no longer has rapids is the Red River Campaign and dynamite.
Yeah, didn't the Red River used to have like what is it called? It's like a blockage.
You're talking about the Great Raft that ran
Yeah.
most of the Red River and into the Atchafalaya,
Yeah.
which hearing AI try to pronounce Atchafalaya is also great, guys.
Hearing AI try to pronounce anything with a K.
The Atchafalaya.
Atchafalaya, Choptulas, Natchitoches.
Or even
Plaquemines.
or even native things like Washita or Homachita.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a whole, the plantation survived the Civil War and made adjustments to post-slavery life by becoming one of the largest sharecropper and tenant farmer estates in the state.
Cool. So they transitioned to legal slavery. Got it.
Yeah, they switched.
They were like slavery 1.0 to slavery 2.0. Let's go.
Let's be honest, 1.5, Jim Crow didn't pass yet. That's 2.0.
Oh yeah, true.
Fucking hell.
You will continue to do what you have been doing, and I will give you $1.
You have quote unquote rights.
Now, most of the former slaves did stay on the grounds and become freeman tenants, which is a very nice way because some of the history websites whitewashed a bit because Of course they do.
So,
They became sharecroppers because the only option that they had as newly freed men with no money, no opportunities, is to keep doing what they were doing.
so it went from like utter slavery to like a company town.
Essentially,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Yeah, former slave plantations literally just became company towns as time went on. But so many of them did that. That's actually a really good way to put it, Chris.
Yeah.
Now, most of the slaves stayed. They went from slave owners to landlords and moved into the real estate business. That is what the LeCompte and Herzog family mostly are known for today, is owning property and collecting rent.
See, I knew it was like a smooth transition from slavery to.
Well, when you own 6,000 acres, either you have to sell it all off or you turn it in a way to generate you money.
I mean,
Like that is the story of any plantation. You have so many acres, and either you go broke trying to actually pay people to run it, or you become sleazier somehow than a slave owner and you become a landlord.
Yeah.
Now, the Herzog family moved into the building that had formerly been the slave hospital on the property in 1865 until they built the current main house in the 1890s. So the current house that resides on the plantation was built by the 1890s, and it was meant to look like the previous big house that was on the property, but it is not the original. It kind of like a lot of Nottoway got built after,
right.
or a lot of the additions of the property.
And then it got burned down.
Fire. Now,
But it only took a minute. It was only on fire for a minute. I mean, there was nothing left when it was done. But
it was on fire for 2 minutes because they put it out at first and then it came back.
The fire is like, I'm not done yet.
I don't think I've made my point, sir. Sir, I need to speak to the manager, sir.
You know what? I'm just going to do it anyway.
Now, the 80 slave quarters were converted into single-family homes for the freemen and sharecroppers. While in the late 1800s, it continued with mule and manpower, it made the jump to tractors and other modern equipment, unlike other surrounding surviving plantations. So they moved with the times because the family still had money.
So that honestly leans me a bit more to they transitioned into landlords. Yes, they transitioned into sharecropping, but they may have been doing it for the time, quote unquote, right.
For the time they did it right. Yeah, they made money.
They absolutely,
Yeah.
but one of the situations where they weren't, it wasn't a company town situation where they were actually paying. Potentially, it would.
Oh no! All the sharecroppers still lived in dirt ass poverty.
Oh, absolutely, but they didn't go more into debt. They just kept them at zero.
Yeah.
It's like, you have money.
How is that technically ethical compared to the other alternative?
Well, they don't owe us anymore.
God, you make it sound so evil. Because it was. Now, the last farmhand moved off of the property in the 1970s. So we're talking about 100 years after the Civil War. Same family still owns the property. Last field hand left in the 1970s. So we have 200 years of this being either slavery or sharecropping at this place. Now, the LeCompte Herzog family continued to operate the privately owned property, including the main house that was rebuilt. The National Historic Landmarks, it was made a National Historic Landmark in 2001 as one of the most intact 19th century plantations. Part of the Cane River it's now part of the Cane River Creole National Historic Park, along with the Oakland Plantation, which was owned by other members of the family. So either side of the river, part of the family owned it.
Mm-hmm.
1994, it's open 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. daily, except on federal holidays. It is a stop on the Louisiana African American Heritage Trail. Because it's one of the few plantations, if you take the tours, which might be suspended here soon due to state funding.
Yeah.
That does not shy away from...
Yay, murder history.
Exactly. Now, this is, we have rambled all over the place.
We have.
But this is ostensibly a paranormal podcast. So let me talk about this.
Okay,
spookies.
excuse me, Hewitt. We are 1/3 personal podcast, 1/3
History.
and 1/3 paranormal now.
With a warning sprinkled in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's going to be a warning
Sometime
somewhere.
between the podcast starting and the podcast ending, Hewitt's going to warn you.
Hey, everybody. Anyway, so let's knock out some of the general standard stuff that has been reported here. There are disembodied voices and footsteps heard in the former slave quarters.
Check.
Voices, cold spot orbs, sensations of being touched all over, reported in the main house, the quarters, and other buildings.
Check.
Mhm.
There are unexplained noises heard all over the property. There are shadow people, and there are full body apparitions.
Triple check.
So we've already run through stuff. So let's go back down the list of things we don't account. Orbs, we don't give
we
that
don't do
anything unless
orbs.
you see the orb without it being in a picture. Unusual noises in the middle of a rural area.
Or any old house that...
There's a reason that natives tell you not to whistle at night. I'm just saying.
Well, I
That's
mean,
true.
one, you don't. God, that's all over the entire damn country. Is don't whistle at night. Like, what the fuck, America? What did you do? And it's like,
Well,
remember
I
the
mean, if you
Appalachian
think
Mountains
about
and the
it-
Scottish Highlands are the same mountain chain.
Don't draw attention. The ball boils down to is don't draw attention to yourself
Yeah.
when you don't know, when you can't see
Yeah.
your surroundings.
I mean, everywhere in this, not just in the South, but in the country, there is something out in the woods that if you whistle and it gets curious,
It's a bad
you
deal.
might
Well,
have
also,
a bad night.
Tell me if you've heard this one, Knox. Don't walk the same path 3 times in a row.
I mean, that's just good. That's just good for Ricky Recon. At that point, at that point you form a habit, and habits can be tracked.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if you walk the same path 3 times, like
By specifically, in this case, not being a paranoid delusionist, walking the same path more than 3 times will definitely make sure that your scent is there, which means that things that work on scent can find you.
this is true.
That it.
Now, let's see. The blacksmith shop has reports of metal banging coming from it at night.
Okay.
Okay.
I chalk that one up into the cold. I give cold spots a little bit of credence in the South with paranormal investigations. I also welcome cold spots a lot of times because right now it's hot as shit. So like if I'm anywhere and it's like 90 degrees outside and all of a sudden there's a cold spot on the porch, I'm like, all right, ghost, I'm invading your bubble. And the ghost's like, I don't know how to handle this.
A ghost is trying to scare the shit out of you, makes this fucking chilling spot, and you're like, climate change is a thing. It's hot as fuck. Let me in your fucking cold bubble, man.
I will go on record and say that I have much different. I have had much different experiences than you two, and yeah,
Cold spots are bad.
not bad, but indicative.
Oh, of something.
Of something.
Oh,
of
okay,
something.
yeah.
I have worked in a bar that was haunted. I have made the mistake of at night after closing, turning the jukebox all the way down. You don't turn the jukebox upstairs all the way down because Freddie likes to listen to his music. An hour later, as we were sitting downstairs, because we would close up, clean up, and then we'd sit around and we'd drink for a few hours because that was the employee time. When I closed up upstairs, I turned the volume all the way down. An hour later, the jukebox came on at full volume, like super loud. Freddie really likes Bad Company,
It's a good song, you know.
and I was told, and as soon as that happened, I was told, I was looked at by the owner and went, you turned the jukebox all the way down, didn't you? It's like, yeah. It's like, always leave it on 1. so that you can hear it, so that he can hear it. He likes to listen to his music. It was one of those jukebox. Yes, it was a CD. It was a CD jukebox. Yes, it had a demo mode. Every 5 minutes, it would play. It would play a random song.
Right.
Not 5 times every 5 minutes.
Oh, jeez. It would just play a song
and
a
not
minute.
the same 12 songs.
So he was just dipping through that.
Freddie liked Bad Company. He really enjoyed 70s power rock.
Hey, there's something to say about it. It's really good.
And the owner has heard him speak. So it was
Yeah, I could see a cold spot being indicative because I guess the rationalization is that it's drawing energy.
Yeah, so we give cold spots credence, but like, I'll be honest, weird noises, orbs, I don't accredit much to that. Shadow people, on the other hand, like if I see something move down a hallway, I'm like, I'm not wanting to go that way for 2 reasons. Number 1, might be a homeless dude. Number 2, might not be a homeless dude. It's one of those, like, I really don't want to run into a homeless guy in one of these abandoned ghost haunted buildings. I really don't want to get down there and find out it wasn't a homeless dude, because then there's going to be a Hewitt shaped hole through at least one wall.
It's like, man, bear, ghost, I don't want to see it.
Or there will be a Hewitt shaped hole through a shadow person.
The shadow person. What the fuck?
Oh man, why'd you do that?
Now,
why does your shadow guy sound like being killed?
that human ain't right. I tell you what.
Damn
it, Bobby. We got a haunt here.
Okay, Dad.
I am pro scare and pro scare accessories. Anyway, so multiple ghost hunting crews have been here. One of which was Zach Bagelbites, the moodiest hobbit of them all, Mr. Bahaggins,
who has some drama.
Yeah, that's still going on. They caught some unexplained lights moving between the slave quarters, as well between the overseer's house and the quarters. It was caught on a regular camera, and it was not like, oh, it might be a dude out there with a flashlight. It was literally almost like you're watching a fou fillet move through. So there's that little bit of evidence. A lot of EVPs were caught in the graveyard. A lot of them referring to the crosses hurting. Now, again, my problem with EVPs is if you put subtitles underneath it.
It is pareidolia or pareidolia of the ear.
Correct. It is the natural human need to find a pattern.
Now, this part is true. A lot of the crosses that adorn the tombstones in the graveyard actually have VVs or vives, however you're supposed to pronounce it, of the Loa etched into them. So the blacksmith was putting like Samedi and Legba symbols.
Probably more Legba, but yeah.
More than likely Legba into the crosses.
Huh.
Which
respect.
I love that. I love that because that's a fuck you. And like,
so the blacksmith, would the blacksmith be a slave? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something like, okay. So when you picture slaves, usually most people picture, I assume, like farm work and everything. But it does make sense to have.
They would be doing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally anything and everything that the overseer, the boss, and the row bosses and the field bosses didn't want to do.
Yeah, it's essentially you do all the menial work. I mean, don't get me wrong. The field bosses and the field bosses and the work bosses, they weren't that much higher up than the workers that they were over, but they got respect.
They weren't slaves,
and they weren't slaves. So they're essentially watch Downton Abbey. The servants, that's what they were.
Yep.
They were servants. They were paid servants. They were paid, but they were servants.
Now, they're recording from multiple investigations of chanting, or what sounds like chanting, in the slave quarters. Now, again, Ghost Adventures immediately claimed this was all like remnants of a voodoo ritual,
Of course,
and that it was evil, quote unquote, energy still in the area.
Yeah, because the cameras were on.
Yep. Supposedly, a voodoo priestess cursed the site of the plantation. That's been mentioned by multiple people in the history. However, I could not find any additional thing other than folk tales that, one of the slaves was a voodoo priestess and she cursed this property. I'm like, apparently cursed it to still make fucking money a century later. Now, let's see. Union and Confederate soldiers have been seen walking around the grounds at night because, of course, you can't have a haunting in the South without Confederate ghosts.
I mean, to be fair, most of those big houses at that time were commandeered for hospitals.
Exactly. So I mean,
because they were big fucking buildings with a lot of fucking rooms.
Yep.
Yeah. And they would tend. I mean, a plantation would be. It wouldn't be like the first place en route for an army to go necessarily, as opposed.
But it would be. But it would be pretty close to the top, considering the fact that you're dealing with a large house that could hold a lot of people,
and they're usually not far from the river, which was your avenue of transport.
That is true. Yeah.
And also, depending on how deep into the war it was, they were fully stocked.
Yeah, because McRaven House was
a hospital.
Yeah, and it was
right on the railroad
damaged
tracks.
Even by. It's crazy to think. Like,
yeah, I mean,
because that is now in like the middle of Vicksburg.
Now, also, there have been multiple reports of slave ghosts being seen moving between buildings and peering through windows at night. Now, let's get into some actually named ghosts. So I've covered all the general supernatural spookies. Now, there is the Jinn ghost, which is a shadow figure. Now, there is a record of a slave dying in the Jinn by being burnt up by the Jinn. It's in the...
A?
It's... Huh?
A?
Yeah.
A?
Yeah, because I could guarantee there was only one.
Yeah, it's in the records that there was a young man that was burned up in the Jinn. Now, like you said, is it the only one? Absolutely not. But it is believed that this shadow person was a young slave. The ghost has been caught on multiple still photos and at least on one video during a ghost investigation by, again, Ghost Adventures, of a figure moving around in the Jinn building that would be probably just a little bit over 5 foot tall. There is the dying room.
Gee.
Wow.
I wonder what happened there.
Man.
Now, the dying room, a Union major died in the room from poisoning, and his spirit has been seen in the room's mirror as well as looking out the windows of the main
we got
house.
a mirror ghost. Cool.
Now, they know it's a Union because while he is grayed out, his uniform is still blue.
So he's like, I might be grayed out, but you're going to fucking know my colors, motherfucker.
Hashtag.
Now, here's the problem with the story about the Union General. The building wasn't there when the Civil War happened. The building was built in the 1890s. So the whole thing about the Union General is bullshit. However, the reason I believe it still deserves to be called the dying room is 4 family members have died in that room since the house was constructed in the 1890s.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe like the Union ghost was just happened to be there when it was built, and he's like, oh, you're entering this room, fuck you. Fuck you, you're dead now.
Ghost knife.
Ghost knife. Just shakes him in the kidney.
Ghost Knife. That was my 80s synthwave metal band. There is also the Overseer / Mr. Miller. Now, wow, that was a terrible creak from the table.
Oh, I mean, it's been creaking all night. It's fine.
Now, he was an abusive overseer and haunts the property and the basement of the hospital / overseer's house. Now, there are EVPs of him in the slave cabins. His apparition has been seen there as well as on the porch and the stairs of what was the overseer's house. So he moves about the property. Mm-hmm. He was supposedly killed by slaves in the basement of the main house who he kept there and was whipping them while chained. There were chains found in the basement. So there is a chance that, yes, slaves were abused in the basement.
You don't. I'm sorry. It's like when we're talking about like a slave plantation, it's like there's evidence slaves could have been abused there. It's like
don't say.
Well, the thing is, you always hear stories, but it's like not written down, or you don't have like physical remnants. It's just like
it's always treated out as an open secret sort of deal.
Well, we all know it happened, but nobody wrote it down. This one's like, yeah, this dude had like a Buffalo Bill situation going down in the basement. Like there were multiple chains, shackles on the wall with like arms and ankles. Mm-hmm. There were signs that human blood was, or I should say, at least blood was on walls and the floor. Mm-hmm. Now, other stories says he was shot trying to fight some Union soldiers that occupied the grounds because the building that is the overseer's house was there during the time period. It was not burned down like the original 2-story big house. He does not like black people at all.
Oh.
There are EVPs of him. He specifically has targeted black ghost hunters.
So, are we talking about a ghost that just uses racial slurs?
Yeah. There is an EVP of him dropping the hard ER.
Here's the thing. That actually makes me believe it more.
Yeah, it's like when an all-white ghost hunting crew goes through, like, he might do something. When Ghost Brothers came through, he was very active.
He was like, I don't want these two in here. Like
they didn't actually go in the building. They went around it. Now the thing I like about Ghost Brothers is in that episode, which you can find on YouTube for free. First, like, oh god, there's something in the window. The temperature. Oh, that's the AC unit, bro. And all of a sudden he takes the night vision camera down and shines his bright flashlight up, and there's just a window unit. He goes, yeah, not a ghost, just an AC unit. And I'm like, I want more of that in ghost shows. I don't want you convincing me it's a demon or some shit. Show me it's like, fuck, man, there was like a puncture in your HVAC line. So that's why this one spot in your hallway was super fucking cold.
Yeah.
We're gonna, we got a guy. Like, he's gonna come and tape it for you. Thank you for letting us come.
It gets cold in a spot in the attic. Yeah, because you got roof rats. They ate through your AC vent.
A squirrel straight up ate a hole here. Let's see. What else is this? Yeah, Ghost Brothers thought they captured him, but yeah, what the cold spot was a window unit. The kitchen door will open and close on its own in that building, like it's unlatched. Like it will unlatch and open, like people have watched.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said it just opens and closes as if it's unlatched. It's like, well,
no, I'm sorry. It's like you will watch the latch go up.
Okay, so that's a little bit more wacky. Yeah.
Let's see. Ghost Ventures caught an image of a female figure coming out of smoke from a fire. That's 100% pareidoia. I've seen the image a couple times. If you look at it, it literally is like, I think that looks like legs and a female body. I'm like, Zach, you saw the fire and you're like, this fire's sexy, man.
This fire is sexy.
This fire is fire,
I love this fire, man. Look at that. Look at those legs.
Now, both Ghost Brothers and Ghost Adventures, when they went there, caught several EVPs. And they also caught Spirit Box voices. The biggest one that both of them got was to leave the Overseer house. You can't do a ghost investigation of the main Magnolia Plantation house from the 1890s. I think Ghost Adventures might have gotten to go in, but they have not allowed anybody else to actually go into the private home because the rest of the property is connected to parks.
Is that the one that has the dying home?
The dying room, quote unquote.
Damn it.
Like I said, I think Ghost Adventures got to go in there. I'd have to go back and double check, but I mean, it's from a 2009. It's season 2, episode 4. So like before they actually went fully crazy with some of their shit. But I don't believe you can do a ghost investigation. A ghost adventure. That you can't do a ghost investigation in their house because it is private property. The rest of the plantation is connected to the Park Service, so you can occasionally get it set up, and there are people who will do ghost tours during spooky season. Now, media, it appeared, like I said, it appeared in Ghost Adventures, Season 2, Episode 4, 2009, Ghost Brothers, Episode 1, In 2016, my references were the National Park Service, the Library of Congress, Natchitoches.com listing Cane River Creole National Historic Park Magnolia Plantation, hauntedrooms.com, usghostadventures.com, louisianahauntedhouses.com, Natchitoches Parish Journal.com, Travel Channel, Magnolia Plantation Cultural Landscape Report, Ian Firth, and Susan Turner. I read a fucking government paper that trying to find history. And that's where I got most of my history of the site was from that document. Most of it was talking about the grading of the ground to prevent massive runoff and land loss to a national park.
Oh, that's topical.
It was literally just most of the study was how do we preserve as much land in this park as possible because the river is cutting through it and washing it away. So, I mean, like a lot of that very long paper was very dry. Also, it told me the tonnage that they produced and like the amount of cotton that came out of this place is ridiculous.
Well, this has been an interesting story. And if you like stories like this, we are Backwoods Obscura. We release every Tuesday. We're on some social media. Like, we're on the TikToks.
I post random stuff on TikToks and get in trouble with some of our followers because I will post a political thing every so often.
I mean, we're not really shy about that, but we're also Team Bonus Action.
Team Bonus Action is a group of friends who like to play tabletop games and video games. Most of the time, we are connected to a charity. Right now, we are loosely affiliated with St. Jude. Reason I say loosely affiliated is because our charity clerics are busy with real life, so they can't handle the business aspect of that. But if you go to stjude.com or you just Google St. Jude, there will be more than one way that you can donate. And we would greatly appreciate it because we need to help to defeat childhood cancer.
Yeah, with that, I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time it is over there.
Hey, Chris.
What?
Hey, Chris.
What?
Chicken butt.
Oh.